forever, as we read. Continuing. Ecclesiastes, see, that's what I want. 1 and 18. Ecclesiastes 1 and 18. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increases knowledge increases sorrow. So, in much wisdom is much grief. You would think it would be, you would be flying high. But he said in much wisdom is much grief. In much wisdom is much grief, and he that increases knowledge increases sorrow. Oh yeah, I see that. Very much so. But you got to stay strong. You got to keep moving on. You got to keep it moving to the kingdom. Don't let anything take you off your path. Romans 4 and 13. For the promise that he should be the heir of the world was not to Abraham or to his seed through the law, but through the righteousness of faith, right? So, for the promise that he should be the heir of the world, it's not talking about the world as you might know it today. This world is defined in Isaiah 45 and 17. Isaiah 45, 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Most High by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, and with an everlasting salvation. That means it's going to last forever and ever and ever. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, which means confused, world without end. So that's the world that's going to be inherited. The world of Israel. Going back to Romans 4, 13. For the promise that he should be the heir of the world was not to Abraham or to his seed through the law, but through the righteousness of faith, your belief in the Most High, your belief in Shama Mashiach Yahushua, going to the Most High on our behalf. The things that are written that you do not doubt concerning whatever it is. Galatians 3 and 29. And if ye be Mashiachim, then are ye Abraham's seed, and heirs according to the promise. You see that heirs to the world, we just show you that world is the world of Israel. And if you be Mashiachim, then are ye Abraham's seed, and heirs according to the promise. Remember, Galatians talking to who? The 12 tribes of Israel that are scattered in the land of Galatia, calling themselves Galatians. Verse 28. There was neither Jew nor Greek, there was neither bond nor free, there was neither male nor female, for ye are all one by Shama Mashiach Yahushua. So now you look at Jew nor Greek. Okay, now let's look at this. Okay, Jew, you want to say that's the 12 tribes of Israel. Nor Greek. What about, okay, if you say the Greeks are Edom or the so-called white people, what about everybody else? Because they like to go to the scripture, there's neither Jew nor Greek. See, there it is, the Greek. But without understanding, what about the other nations? What about everybody else? See, I ain't concerned about no one else. Just concerned about the so-called white people. Because it say Greek there. But you understand, we, as the children of Israel, were considered Greeks. Let me show you. You get the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Old trusty Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. Let's look up what we're dealing with here concerning Israel. Greeks, you know. I mean, it's really don't. That's why I say if you knew these scriptures and looking at what we went through before Mashiach Yahushua came on earth, when the Greeks came into power, you would have an idea of why it would say Jew and Greek. Just like it's no different than we are the Israelites, we are the Hebrew Israelites, and our people that are still Israelites, what they call themselves? Gentiles, what they call themselves? Americans. So you in the Greek Empire, what they call themselves? Greeks. Come on now. Don't take a rocket science and figure that out. Can't be that lost. Come on. You going this way? You done went this way already? Now you going back that way? Come on now. It's no different. Ain't nothing new under the sun. So let's look at Greek. Greek or Grecians. It says Greece is Greece, the home of the Hellenes. Greeks and Grecians, however, are to be distinguished. Greeks are generally those of Hellenic race. So let's look up Hellenists. Hellenists. Bear with me. Hellenists. It says Jews who made Greek their tongue and with it often adopted Greek ideas and practices. It don't take a rocket science or anyone that, I mean, we have been through, any of you that have been through Holy Convocations. Let's go to 1 Maccabees, the first chapter. The very first chapter. And let's read about the ones that actually became Greeks and so forth. Let me start at verse 10. Well, I'll start at 9 because it's very important. This is when Alexander the Greek, it's before Mashiach Yahushua came on earth. The Greeks were ruling. And they changed the name to the Romans. But this is during Alexander the Greek. Once he died, it says in verse 9, and after his death, Alexander the Greek, they all put crowns upon themselves, and so did their sons after them many years. And evils were multiplied in the earth. See? When they came into power, evils were multiplied in the earth, it says. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. So by white people, their first kingdom. Listen. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant, a contract or agreement with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain other people were so forward there herein that they went to the king, this wicked king Antiochus, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Look what it say next. Whereupon they built a place of exercise. Sound like these places where people be going out to work out in these gyms, right? They built a place of exercise at Jerusalem. We didn't have that. According to the customs of the heathen. And made themselves uncircumcised. And forsook the holy covenant. And joined themselves to the heathen. And were sold to do mischief. See? That's when they became the Greeks. You see? Look at this. Verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom, including the 12 tribes of Israel, those that were mingled among Judah, Benjamin, Levi, that all should be one people. Sound like what? New World Order, right? And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Of course, because all the gods of the nations are idols. Listen, yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and to the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land. See? And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. See? This is what they done. That's why you see why it would say in verse 28 of Galatians, the 3rd chapter, there is neither Jew nor Greek, nor there's neither Hebrew Israelite or Americans who are Hebrew Israelites, or Hebrew Israelites that are called Jews, and Greeks that are Hebrew Israelites. There is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither bond nor free, there is neither male nor female, for ye are all one by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua. And if ye are Mashiachim, then are ye Abraham's seed, and heirs according to the promise. So, look what Mashiach Yahushua said in Matthew 15:24. This is out of his own mouth. Matthew 15:24. But he answered, the Mashiach Yahushua answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's what he said out of his own mouth. Before he was born. Just what was said. Matthew 1:21. This is what the angel Gabriel told Joseph and Mary. And she shall bring forth a son, and thou shalt call his name Mashiach Yahushua, for he shall save his people from their sins. There it is. And we read in Acts the 5th chapter, 31st verse, repentance to Israel and forgiveness of sins. He's going to save his people, Israel, from their sins, from Israel's sins. He said he was only sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So you can try to make it say anything else if you want to, but the truth is the truth. It is what it is. Hallelujah. For the truth. Understand it. Romans 4 and 16. Therefore it is of faith, that it might be by grace, which is getting something that you don't deserve. That's grace. To the end the promise might be sure to all the seed, not to that only which is of the law, but to that also which is of the faith of Abraham, who is the father of us all. Abraham had a son named Isaac, who had a son named Jacob, who was the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. So that us is who? Paul himself. Right? So who's Paul? Romans 11:1. I say then, after Most High cast away his people, Like people want to say we were cast away and he grafted in these other nations. No. Say, as the Most High cast away his people, the Most High forbid. For I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. See? The Most High has not cast away his people, which he foreknew. That's of the past. So, looking at Romans 4:16, therefore it is of faith, that it might be of grace. It may be by grace, to the end the promise might be sure to all the seed, not to that only which is of the law, but to that also which is of the faith of Abraham, who is the father of us all. Romans 9:7. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. See? But in Isaac shall thy seed be called. There it is. Not in Ishmael, but in Isaac. Abraham had Ishmael and Isaac also. But listen what it says. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham. You say, I'm the seed of Abraham. Everybody want to say that. Because Abraham, many come from the seed of Abraham. You know. You have a lot of nations that come from the seed of Abraham. But listen what it says. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. But in Isaac shall thy seed be called. Right? So he said, in Isaac shall the seed be called. Not with everyone else, anyone else that just wanted to be them. That's not so. Look at go to Galatians, the 5th chapter. When you look at Galatians 5 and let's look at verse 13. For brethren, ye have been called unto liberty, only use not liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another. For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. That's going all the way back to Leviticus, the 19th chapter, verse 1 and 2 and 17 and 18, where it says, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye not be consumed one of another. This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. To walk in the Spirit, you got to be thinking about what's right, and not what your fleshly body desires that's contrary to what's righteous in the eyes of the Most High. For the flesh lusts after the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary to the one to the other, so that you cannot do the things that you would. So the Spirit and the flesh is battling each other. The flesh is dealing with your lust. All these things give a name. But if you be led of the Spirit, you are not under the law. Because the Spirit going to tell you to do what's righteous in the eyes of the Most High. So therefore, it's just like riding a bicycle. You learn how to ride a bicycle, you know how to ride a bike. No matter how old you are, you still know how to ride a bicycle. Once you know the laws, and you follow the law in the Spirit, because your spirit going to tell you this is right and that's wrong. Whenever you see something that's wicked and you don't do it, that's in the Spirit, being in the Spirit.